it.
Spence.
Benz, yeah, I've heard it.
17 years, right? Did you say 17 years at Mr. Humphrey's office?
Ran into a bunch of the Probate Humphrey lawyers last night at the Harvest House fundraiser.
Take her outside and don't come back inside.
Don't need to go outside though. She's waiting because we're gonna go.
Lloyd, can you hear me?
Outside.
Come on, go outside.
Steven?
I can't see him. That's what I was gonna ask
My
him if
screen
he could
just
hear
went
me.
blank.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Maybe they don't have Wi-Fi in Nebraska.
All right, I've did this before. All right. Let's try again, Judge. He has it unmuted.
Mr. Lloyd, can you hear me?
There you are.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Are you there, Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
I can see the top of your head. You'll need to unmute your line. Make sure that the speaker is enabled on your computer. It should be on your keyboard with the symbol of a speaker.
No, he
Or
just-
you may be able to there, down at the bottom left-hand side of your picture, there should be a little red microphone next to your name. I don't know if you have a touch screen or a mouse, but you'll need to unmute that microphone.
Can he hear us? Let me see if I can.
Can you hear me, Mr. Lloyd?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have you. All right, Mr. Lloyd and Ms. Benz, if you'll raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth so help you God?
And so help me God, I do.
Okay, Mr. Lloyd, are you familiar with the handwriting of Mr. Robbie Reed?
Yes, sir.
Miss Robbie Reed, excuse me. I'm gonna hold up what purports to be her last will and testament. Do you recognize that as being such?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm gonna go back to the signature page and ask you if you recognize that as being her signature on that document.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. To your knowledge, after the date that this will was made back in 2013, did she ever change it or revoke it?
Oh, sir, that I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Has Mr. Dowden provided you with a document called a proof of death and other facts?
Yes, sir.
Have you read that?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in that document true and correct and within your personal knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're gonna need to take that document along with your oath and sign those just as your name is typed on there before a notary public and return those back to Mr. Dowden, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let him question the other witness now. Go right ahead, Mr.
And
Dowden.
thank you, Mr. Lloyd, for your help. You're Deborah Bentz, is that true? And Ms. Bentz, you're employed with the Humphrey Law Firm, I understand, for about 17 years, is that right? And I'm showing you what we filed for probate, we believe to be the last will and testament of Robbie Pierce Reed. And does this look like the format of the will that would have been prepared at your office? Okay, and then back on the last, on page 9, there is a signature of Robbie Pierce Reed, and the document having been witnessed in front of a Kayla Jones and a Deborah Bentz. Is that Deborah Bentz is you, is that right?
Correct.
And do you recognize the notary there, Sonia Drake? Have you had an opportunity to look over this proof of subscribing witness that we're going to file with the court today? Everything in that document within your knowledge and true and correct? Okay. Because that's all I have unless you need anything further.
No, you can go ahead and
Looks
sign
like
that.
we have it filled in.
All right. All right, so, sir, Mr. Lloyd, when you, get those signed and back to him, he'll e-file those with the county clerk. I'll sign the order admitting the will to probate and authorizing the county clerk to issue letters testamentary that will give you authority to marshal the assets of the estate and perform your duties as representative, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, I
Thank-
hope you have a great week. Thank you for your time here today.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lloyd,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
You take care.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Larry.
You betcha.
Okay, Mr. Brinkley,
And I'll call you about that email you sent.
Thank you.
Okay. Mhm.
Come up here.
are you coming up on, Castro?
First.
Okay, who's gonna be appearing via Zoom?
Person appearing by Zoom is, this is Victoriano. This Victoriano.
Oh, wow,
And
Victoria.
is she,
Good morning.
good morning, Mr. Frederick.
See, they,
Is she a witness to family history or
Yeah,
to?
she's a witness to the airship.
Okay,
That's the only one. See,
Yeah, because Miss Rodriguez is here in person.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's fine if it's in there because we had. No, that's fine. If it's in there, I'll put it.
okay, Dean,
Yes. Great.
you there?
I can.
All right.
You do Mariah first, and she's working right now. That's why she can be here.
okay, Ms. Rodriguez is Ms. Castro's sister.
Correct. We had another gentleman named Mr. Bennett that was gonna come, and he couldn't do it, so we need to get him a witness. So we try to find one, it's been really difficult finding someone else to testify.
Okay, so-
I'm here.
Okay, can you enable your, oh, there you are.
Sorry, I'm at work.
And so, is this Mr. Castro's only marriage? And there were 3 children born of the marriage? Okay. All right, Ms. Victoriano, each of you could raise your right hand, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Go right ahead,
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Brinkley.
you, Judge. Ms. Victoriano, I'll start with you since you're at work, okay? Mariah, I understand that you're a family friend of the decedent and his wife, is that correct?
Can you
Yes,
hear?
sir.
Okay,
Yes.
and how long have you known the decedent and his family? Since what year?
I known Christian Castro since about 2008.
Okay.
And I've been knowing Miss Castro since I was about 5 years old.
Do you feel like you're very familiar with the family?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that the decedent Christian Castro was married to Adriana Castro at the time of his death?
Yes, sir.
And is it true that they had 3 children together?
Yes.
Do you know of any other children born to or adopted by the decedent?
No.
Do you know of any other children that were brought into his home that he raised as his own?
No.
Are you aware of any other marriages that he had? other than to the applicant today?
No.
I'll pass it with you, Your Honor.
Any questions of this one?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Miss Victoriana, this is Scott Frederick. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, you and I spoke over the weekend and we discussed the same information that you just discussed with Counsel Brinkley. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you told me the same information that you just told Mr. Brinkley in the court, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez, your name is Erica Rodriguez, is that correct?
Yes,
And you're the sister of Adriana, is that correct?
right.
So I understand you've known Adriana all of your life. How long have you known Mr. Castro, the decedent?
Around 2007, 8.
Okay. You've got a document there that I went over with you earlier, the affidavit. Is everything on there true and correct, to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm gonna ask you to do, we'll turn it over to the signature page. I'm gonna ask you to sign it with your name. And signature.
Right here.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see it anywhere in here. What are the ages of the three children?
My oldest turned 13, then I have a 10-year-old, and the little one will be 3 tomorrow.
So we're, if I can turn my attention to, I have no further question.
Hi, Ms. Rodriguez. Scott Frederick, you and I spoke last week regarding the same information you just discussed in the Counsel Brinkley, correct?
Right.
Okay, you indicated to me the same information you told the court in Mr. Brinkley here today, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Castro, you are in fact the wife of the decedent, Mr. Castro, is that correct? And it is true that he had no other marriages besides the one he had with you, is that correct?
Right.
And y'all have 3 children together.
Yes.
Are there any other children born to the marriage or adopted by your
No.
late husband? Okay. You've had a chance to look at the proof of death and other facts that we have.
Yes.
Is everything in there true and correct, to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm gonna ask you to do is sign it, just like your name appears on here. Yep, I'm gonna show you this document. This is the affidavit of assets. As far as the assets that we've been able to ascertain, we know there's a house that you guys lived at on Augusta and Groves. Is that correct? That was your homestead. And we've got the value stated at about $350,000. That was community property. I bought that during the marriage. Is that correct? In fact, all the property that we listed in this community property, there really was no separate property. Do you agree with that? We have a list of personal property here with some vehicles and some things. Is that an accurate reflection of the personal property?
Yes.
Okay. When I turn back here, you'll see that we've got his total estate valued at $211,500 as far as the total value of that estate. And we talked about the debts that are due. There is a debt with Wells Fargo of $4,549. Is that
Order
correct?
on attorney's fees.
And then you've got a mortgage with Mr. Cooper for $236. Is that correct?
Okay.
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 Great. So Judge, the value of this community estate is $211,500. Most of that is tied up in the house. So this is her affidavit of assets. And I'll just have her sign this right here.
Okay. Take a look at it. Because I'm not gonna sign an order until I get Miss Victoriano's
Yes, sir.
affidavit proof anyway.
And we gotta do the bond and all that. So you're right, that's gonna be.
Order.
There you go. Do the oath.
And, Judge, I do want to point out for the court, I don't think it changes anything here. I put in my report, it's in paragraph 10. Ms. Castro and Ms. Castro and Mr. Castro were in divorce proceedings right before the time of his death. I did speak with counsel for Mr. Castro and Judge Freeze regarding the status of that. And Judge Freeze is, everybody has confirmed that the divorce was not final. Here's the printout from the case summary. It appeared that there had been a final hearing, but again, I spoke with Judge Freeze on December 1st, and I spoke with counsel for Mr. Castro. Both of them confirmed that it indeed was not final at the time.
Very good. Okay. Once we get all the proofs in, I'm gonna sign the order authorizing a dependent administration of the estate. This is the guide that explains how the probate process works. Mr. Brinkley's gonna go out with you and y'all are gonna go over this together. And you're gonna sign it and it will show that you understand, what the nature of your duties and responsibilities are and your authority. So it's called a dependent administration. You can't sell anything without coming to the court and asking for permission to sell it. I'm saying that specifically because we've had a lot of problems lately with people showing up on show causes that sold a vehicle or something and never got the permission. In one case, sold the house, which I think it's gonna nullify the title to it, because they had no authority to sell it. But, so if there's anything that needs to be sold, you need to make sure that he files something with the court and that we get, permission in advance. Ms. Victoriano, you're gonna sign your proof before a notary and return that
Yes.
to Mr. Brinkley. He'll e-file that with the court. Once he does that, I'll sign the order.
Okay.
And I will set the bond as soon as I get the proofs in and look at the affidavit of asset.
Very good.
And we'll get your orders now.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else? You have another one,
Yes,
don't
sir, I
you?
do.
All right, do you want to release them?
Yes, sir. Just look at
All right, y'all may be excused. I hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
She's gonna need to sign,
What you
this and
gonna
get
do,
this
read
back
this
to me,
and
but you
sign it?
can do it right there.
it.
Yeah, you can go out there and read it.
Okay.
You all right? Is this something to eat?
Yes, thank you. That's my letter to the deeds. They
There
gave
you
me
go.
outside.
All right,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Judge, will you dismiss her? She's still on there.
Oh, Miss Victoriana, you may be excused.
Okay.
Have a great
Thank
one.
you. All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Probably find looking for Danielle Sears and Ray Minix. Is that who you have on there?
I have Ray's
don't
iPhone,
see,
and Aubrey, a Samsung, and Ford
Mr.
Dishman.
Dishman.
Okay,
He's on Zoom
Oh,
also.
okay.
so yeah, Miss Aubrey's my client. Looks like Miss Sears is not on.
I wonder who Ray's iPhone is.
That's Ray Minix. He's one of the witnesses.
Okay, and Sam, the Samsung, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what we got.
Maybe that's her. I'm gonna say.
Hey, Dee,
Yes,
we're not gonna file the oath. Have her re-sign it after the order.
got it.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you enable your video, please? At the bottom left of your screen there, if you'll touch it, if you have a touch screen.
Yes, I have it.
Thank you. Are you Miss Brewster? No, you're Miss Aubrey.
Yes, I'm Miss Aubrey.
And you Mr. Minix?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're just waiting for one more.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see everybody?
Mm-hmm. Ms. Sears, before we get started, did you receive a copy of the affidavit of facts? Ms. Sears, can you hear me?
I'm not sure she's there yet.
Okay. I thought that was her at the bottom, the Samsung.
Is that not her?
Is that not Mrs. Sears on the Samsung SM?
I've got Miss Brewster is who Mr. Dishman spoke to. Who is that lady?
There's a
Yeah.
Danielle Sears.
Daniel?
No, it should be, Ms. Brewster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have, Shania Brewster
They-
and Ray Minix.
Okay.
Is
I'm
that Miss
sorry. I
Brewster
had
on the
a-
bottom?
That was our other witness.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ms. Brewster,
Okay, I'm
have
trying.
you seen the affidavit that we prepared?
I have not.
Okay, I'll go through the questions with you then. She's kind of new to this for us.
Okay, Miss Aubrey, Mr. Minix, and Miss Brewster, if I can get you to raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do. I do.
All righty, go right ahead.
Ms. Brewster, let me start with you, okay? Ms. Brewster, how do you know the decedent, Thomas Aubrey?
He's my uncle. He's my mother's brother.
Okay, how long have you known the decedent? What year do you think you started knowing him?
Young, I would say 4 years old.
Okay, what year would that have been?
76.
Okay. Now, my understanding is that he had been married once to Evelyn Cherry, but that marriage ended in divorce. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. It looks like he was also married to Claire Agnes Smith Thomas in about 1968, and that marriage terminated in about 2014. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that ended whenever she passed away. Is that correct?
Correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Now, I've got a list of 5 children that were born to the decedent: Frankie, Kay, Jesse, John, and Casanova. Is that an accurate list of all the children?
Of Claire's, yes.
Okay. And were any other children born to or adopted by the decedent?
Not to my knowledge, no.
It's my understanding that the decedent died without a will. Are you aware of a will?
No.
Okay. I'll pass the witness to Ford.
Any questions of this witness? Go ahead and take note of your report.
Okay, just briefly. Now, you are aware that there were 2 stepchildren, Jonathan and Sydney, correct?
Sydney, correct.
However, although they lived together, he never adopted those 2. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Minix, your name is Ray Minix, is that correct?
Or Junior, yes.
Okay, and how do you know the decedent?
He was married to my aunt. He was my uncle.
Okay, how long have you known him? What year do you think you started knowing him?
Oh, about 55 years. So I guess I was about 12.
What year would that have been?
56, 68.
Okay. Have you seen the affidavit that we created?
Somebody mailed me one and I didn't get a chance to go through the one that was in the Zoom.
No problem.
request.
You've heard the testimony of Mrs. Brewster today about his marital history. Do you agree with that assessment of his marital history?
Yes.
Married twice, and his last spouse died, and that was the way that marriage terminated. Is that correct?
Yes.
And also, we named 5 children that he had. Do you know of any other children besides those 5?
No, I do not.
Okay. We also told the court that we don't have a will. Do you agree with that? Do you know of a will in existence?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I'll pass this witness.
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Minix, are you a teacher?
No, sir. I did a lot of coaching.
I'm trying to figure out what that is behind you, that bulletin board.
Oh, that's my son. I'm sorry. That's when he was graduating high school, and they pictures from elementary to high school.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay, so Janine Aubrey, I take it, is the widow of Jesse Aubrey.
She's the daughter, yeah, the daughter-in-law, so she's the widow of Jesse.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Go right ahead.
Okay, okay, Mrs. Aubrey, we just established that you're the daughter-in-law of the decedent, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you've heard the testimony of all the witnesses today about the family history of the decedent. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yes, I agree with the everything, and the 5 kids that was listed are Thomas Aubrey's children
Okay,
from both wives.
right. There was 4 from one wife and 1 from one wife. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. As far as the will goes, is it your testimony that there is no will? We have no knowledge of a will in this case?
Yes, no knowledge of a will.
Okay. You and I had gone through what we think are the assets of the estate. And we know that there's a piece of real property over at 1370 Ashley Street that was owned by the decedent and his wife. Do you know of any other real property?
No, I don't know of any other property.
Okay. And then we've been informed of one debt. There's been one claim made against the estate for $12,469.56. And that's the only debt that I'm aware of. Are you aware of any other debts to the estate?
No.
Okay. You've had a chance to look at the proof of death and other facts. Is all the information on there true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know of any reason why you couldn't faithfully perform your duties as the administrator of this estate?
No.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
All right, so each of you are gonna sign your proofs. Y'all will have to talk to Mr. Brinkley about signing your statement of facts for Ms. Brewster and Mr. Minnick. And Ms. Aubrey, you're gonna sign what's called a proof of death and other facts and an oath. You're gonna provide those to Mr. Brinkley. He will e-file those with the court. I'm going to give Mr. Brinkley an instruction sheet for dependent administrators. Please make sure that you go over that with him. I'm handing that to him right now. But we'll get those documents signed so that you can start to deal with the affairs of the estate. One of the first things you might do is to check the mail at the residence to see whether there were any other properties, bank accounts. You might also check the Texas Unclaimed Money Fund at the Texas Comptroller's Office website. And Mr. Brinkley can do a search of the appraisal district records here to determine whether there was any other property that might have been in the name of Mr. Aubrey. But other than that, I hope everything goes well. I'll let y'all speak to Mr. Brinkley about getting your proofs in, and y'all have a great week.
You
All
too.
right. Thank you. You too.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Take
Judge.
care.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. That's one there.